Rising out of the Carpathian Mountains like a dark sentinel, Bran Castle looms with an eerie majesty. Known to many as Dracula's castle, it is a fortress filled with stories that transcend time, tales of power, royalty, and unspeakable horror. But beyond the legend of Vlad the Impaler, an even darker undercurrent flows through these ancient walls. Supernatural whispers, ghostly apparitions, and malevolent forces are said to roam the corridors. Welcome to Bran Castle, Romania's most haunted fortress. Part 1. The history behind the hauntings. Before we dive into the supernatural, we must first understand the history that shaped this chilling monument. Bran Castle was built in the late 14th century as a defensive outpost to protect the people of Transylvania from invaders. But it's not its military history that has captured the imagination of millions. Instead, its association with Vlad III, also known as Vlad the Impaler, has immortalized the castle in folklore. This infamous ruler was said to have inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula, a novel that catapulted Bran Castle into the world of Gothic terror. But while Vlad the Impaler's brutal legacy is undeniable, the true horrors of Bran Castle lie not in the bloodshed of wars, but in the mysterious, unexplained forces said to haunt these grounds. Part 2. The ghostly apparitions. Visitors and caretakers alike have reported seeing ghostly figures roaming the castle. One of the most commonly cited apparitions is that of a woman in white. She is believed to be the spirit of a noblewoman who met a tragic end within the castle's walls. Witnesses claim that her figure appears faintly in doorways, her sorrowful eyes staring into the distance before she vanishes into thin air. The lady in white is perhaps one of the most tragic spirits here. Legend says she was falsely accused of treason during Vlad the Impaler's reign and was executed in the courtyard. Some say her restless soul wanders the castle at night, forever seeking justice for a crime she did not commit. Part 3. The poltergeist activity. The reports of poltergeist activity are just as chilling. Guests have experienced doors slamming shut, objects moving on their own, and sudden, intense drops in temperature that can't be explained. One particular room, known as the music room, is infamous for its spectral disturbances. Instruments play themselves, particularly a piano that emits haunting notes in the dead of night. Some believe that the poltergeist in the music room is the spirit of a long-forgotten composer who once performed here, his undying passion for music tethering him to the castle even in death. Part 4. The Curse of the Strigoi. But Bran Castle's hauntings are not limited to the spirits of the dead. Romania is steeped in folklore of dark, supernatural creatures, including the terrifying strigoi, undead beings that rise from the grave to drain the life from the living. While Bram Stoker's vampire legend may have been inspired by Vlad the Impaler, the real threat, locals say, comes from these shape-shifting creatures who hunt the night. The strigoi are part of our oldest myths, but they are not just tales for scaring children. Many in rural areas still believe that the spirits of the dead, if not properly laid to rest, can return as strigoi. Some have even claimed that the forests around Bran Castle are home to such creatures. The locals speak of strange sightings, shadows moving too quickly through the trees, unsettling howls that pierce the night, and mysterious deaths of livestock drained of blood. Whether these are the work of strigoi or something else entirely, the darkness surrounding Bran Castle grows ever deeper. Part 5. The mysterious lights and unexplained sounds. Beyond the apparitions and poltergeists, there are other, subtler phenomena. Many visitors have reported seeing strange lights inside the castle at night. Glowing orbs floating through the air, flickering in windows where no candles burn. Accompanying these lights are unsettling sounds. The echo of footsteps in empty hallways, whispers in unknown languages, and the unmistakable sense that someone or something is watching. Bran Castle is like a beacon for paranormal activity. We've recorded electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, capturing whispers and voices that seem to respond to our questions. Even more chilling is the fact that these voices often speak in languages long dead, some dating back to the castle's earliest years. Part 6. The Hidden Dungeon and Torture Chambers. Deep beneath Bran Castle lies a dungeon, its walls stained with the history of suffering. This is where enemies of the crown, criminals, and unfortunate souls were imprisoned, tortured, and in many cases, executed. The energy in these rooms is palpable, so thick you can almost taste it in the air. Some say that the cries of those who perished here still echo through the stone. Visitors have reported feeling a sudden, crushing sense of dread upon entering the dungeon. Some even claim to have been physically touched, scratches, handprints, or the sensation of cold fingers brushing against their skin. Are these merely tricks of the mind, or are they the lingering echoes of a past filled with pain? Part 7. The Haunting of Queen Marie's Heart. One of Bran Castle's most unique ghost stories involves Queen Marie of Romania, a beloved royal who had a deep connection to the castle. Upon her death in 1938, her heart was removed and placed in a silver casket at her request. That heart, once kept at Bran Castle, is said to be the source of a strange and powerful presence. Marie's love for Bran Castle was well known, and many believe her spirit never truly left. Visitors often feel a strong, benevolent presence near the display that once housed her heart. Some say it's her way of watching over the castle she adored. But not all encounters with Queen Marie's spirit have been peaceful. Others report a more intense energy, particularly at night, as if the castle itself resents the removal of her heart, a silent guardian disturbed from its eternal rest. Part 8. The Curse of Bran Castle. Among the many legends surrounding Bran Castle, there is one that stands out above all: the Curse of Bran Castle. Some say that the land on which the fortress stands was cursed long before its walls were built. A curse so old, it dates back to the days of ancient pagan rituals. It is said that the spirits of those sacrificed to the gods haunt the grounds, unleashing their fury on anyone who dares disturb the castle's peace. Locals whisper of strange ceremonies that once took place in the forest surrounding Bran Castle. Ceremonies to appease the old gods, to keep the curse at bay. But as the centuries passed and the rituals were forgotten, the curse is believed to have strengthened, seeping into the very stones of the castle. Those who come seeking fame, fortune, or power are said to meet tragic ends, consumed by the dark forces that still hold sway here. Conclusion: the unsolved mystery of Bran Castle. Bran Castle stands as a monument to centuries of history, myth, and legend. Its halls are filled with the echoes of the past, but perhaps more terrifying are the things that remain unseen, those forces that lurk in the shadows, waiting for the next unsuspecting visitor. Is Bran Castle truly haunted? Or are these stories simply the product of overactive imaginations in a land rich with folklore? One thing is certain: the mysteries of Bran Castle remain unsolved, and the supernatural forces that dwell within its walls are as real today as they were centuries ago. Dare to explore Bran Castle for yourself, if you can handle the darkness that awaits.